When you hear a show tune from the great white way, does a shiver run through ya? Well, we're giving them to ya. Sing hallelujah and shout hooray. Come on along and listen to Broadway to Main Street. USA.
Say the neon lights are bright on Broadway, on Broadway. They say there's always magic in the air on Broadway. But when you're walking down the street and you ain't had enough to eat, the glitter rubs right off and you're nowhere. Girls are something else on Broadway. On Broadway. Yeah. But looking at them just gives me the blues. On Broadway. Cause how you gonna make some time when all you got is one thin dime? And one thin dime won't even shine your shoes. On Broadway. Yeah. They say that I won't last too long on Broadway, on Broadway. I'll catch a Greyhound bus for home, they all say. On Broadway. But they're different, I know they are. 'Cause I can play this here guitar, and I won't quit till I'm a star on Broadway. I won't quit till I'm a star. I won't quit till I'm a star.
And of course, where could we be other than on Broadway, or more correctly, on Broadway to Main Street? Hello, this is Larry Maslon, your host for Self-Same Show here on WLIW-FM, Long Island's only signature, one-of-a-kind individual NPR station. And that was the ebullient cast of Smokey Joe's Café, a major review of the 1990s, still done everywhere. And it is referred to often as either a review or a jukebox musical. Which is it? This is what we will figure out today on our show. And I should take a moment to thank the Frederick Lowe Foundation for their support every week here on our radio show, Broadway to Main Street. Well, I went to see A Beautiful Noise the other night on Broadway, the Neil Diamond musical, and clearly the jukebox musical is here to stay. Many shows out there, Tina, MJ, Ain't Too Proud, Motown, you name it. And how does it all sort of figure in the history of the American musical is a question I think people are scratching their heads about a bit. So today is Jukebox Jamboree. We'll look at the early roots of it and see how far we can go. Well, if you define the jukebox musical, which I'm going to do for now, the next 54 minutes, as a musical theater piece that uses songs from popular music as opposed from stage shows to construct an evening of entertainment, then I think the first one that's important, in my opinion, is Ain't Misbehavin'. And Ain't Misbehavin' came out of almost nowhere, except it came out of the Manhattan Theater Club when it was on the Upper East Side to Broadway, and it knocked people out, and it won the Tony, and it gets done everywhere. And Fats Waller was a major writer and pianist and performer and band leader in the 30s, 40s, into the 50s. And A lot of his songs were in reviews or in small things, Hot Chocolates on Broadway, but most of what he wrote was popular song. It was written for the airwaves. So they put together a lot of different songs from the airwaves that were, sheet music or popularly recorded or on the radio, and made a fabulous evening of entertainment of songs that some people knew, but many people didn't. And maybe that's why it was so exciting. Here is the man himself, Fats Waller, singing a song called The Joint is Jumpin', which gives you a pretty broad bandwidth of his inimitable style.
They have a new expression along old Harlem way that tells you when a party is 10 times more than gay. To say that things are jumping leaves not a single doubt that everything is in full swing when you hear someone shout. It is, the joint is jumping, it's really jumping. Come in, cats, and check your hats, I mean this joint is jumping. The piano's thumping, the dancers are bumping. This here spot is more than hot, in fact the joint is jumping. Check your weapons at the door, be sure to pay your quarter. Burn your leather on the floor, grab anybody's daughter. The roof is rocking, the neighbors knocking. We're all bums when the wagon comes, I mean the joint is jumping. Let it be, yeah. Sing this joint, boy, yeah. Oh my, yeah. Don't you hit that chick, that's my broad. Where'd you get that stuff at? Well, I'll knock you to your knees. What? Put this cat out of here. What? Get rid of that pistol. Get rid of that pistol. Yeah. Get rid of it. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, man, it's really ready. No, baby, not now. I can't come over there right now. Yeah, Mr. Stewart. I mean, yes, Mr. Woman. Tell me, Mr. Woman. Yes, you can. I ain't got what to be. Yes, I don't know. That's me, baby. Come on, baby. That's me. Look out there now. We're jumping. We're jumping. The joint is jumping. It's really jumping. Every Moses on his toes, I mean this joint is jumping. No time for talking. This place is walking, yes. Hit the jug and cut the rug. I said the joint is jumping. Listen, get your pig feet beer and gin. There's plenty in the kitchen. Who is that just came in? Just look at the way he's switching. Oh, baby. Don't mind the hour. I'm in power. I got bail if we go to jail. I said the joint is jumping. Don't give your right name. No, no, no.
It's getting slow, the crowd is almost gone, but here we are still dancing.
Nothing to do but waltz.
Our feet can barely move, my legs are yelling whoa, but we're in such a groove that love is still advancing.
Nothing to do but waltz.
Can't suggest that we could go on jitterbugging.
No bugging.
We've nothing left for moves more strenuous than hugging. But we don't need much room to gently cut a rug in. We two.
I'm tired.
nothing to do but waltz.
The minutes slip away, my arms just won't let go. I think I'd like to stay till we're the only couple.
Nothing to do but waltz.
You never know how far this sort of thing can get you.
One never knows, one never
We're
knows.
not as tired as we would like to think. I bet you stay up half the night with me if I would let you.
Yes,
So come,
let the waltz play
dances ebb and flow. The room is fading too, and I'm just moving with nothing to do but it feels so good. The voice has shrunk, there's nowhere else to go, and I'm completely drunk on this three-quarter nothing to do but right where it should. Excuse me if I seem a little
Touch me once again and I will melt away with
I think
joy.
tonight I may have found myself a
Such a lucky girl to find herself a lucky
If
boy.
the evening cast itself a magic spell over me.
Well, all that is true is that right here with you is where I wanna be. To do but It's nice to feel us both get hot beneath the collar.
Where else can you get thrills like this for just $1?
Here is where I stay.
I plan to keep you here all night unless you holler. In love
With
the jitterbug.
the lazy rhythm falls and everybody falls in love. That's always what you count on when you
Well, that was the astonishing cast. It's Andre DeShields and Ken Page and Nell Carter and others in the Broadway cast of Ain't Misbehavin'. And they did something so beautiful and so theatrical and so transcendent with the Jitterbug Waltz that Fats Waller wrote. So for me, it's more of a jukebox show than it is a review. And almost at the same time as this show was moving to New York, another show opened on Broadway at the Winter Garden, one of our finer theaters, called Beatlemania. And if you're going to put together a popular show about popular songs in the airwaves, who could be better than the Beatles? And this show was billed as not the Beatles, but an incredible simulation. And it took the town kind of by storm. It was hard to get a ticket. It ran for over 1,000 performances. My goodness. And I'll talk a little bit about what the show was like. But here from the 1977-78 season was the groundbreaking Beatlemania. Here are the original Fab Four singing a song that was in the first act of Beatlemania, and then we'll hear the cast itself.
Take three. Okay. Madonna.
1, 2, 3, 3.
Mic problem. Would you move your bass vocal mic in a bit? Right. Okay, here we go. We're rolling. Take 4. Madonna.
That dog on a leash. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lady Madonna, children at your feet, wonders how you manage to make ends meet. Who finds some money when you pay the rent? Did you think that money was heaven sent? Friday night rides without a suitcase, Sunday morning creeping like a nun. Monday Sabbath learned to tie his bootlace. See how they run, Lady Madonna, baby at your breast, wonders how you manage to beat the rest.
Beatlemania. What a show. It really had a huge run. I think you've never seen it and you've never seen the album really. That's the cast album of people pretending to be the Beatles singing songs from the radio. I think there are lots of legal issues. That was on Arista, I think. But Beatlemania, as I said, ran 1,000 performances and was very simple. It was the Fab Four performing in their mop tops in Act 1, and then Act 2 happened and they got all psychedelic and Sgt. Peppery and fantastic lighting. And backgrounds by Bob Gill and Jules Fisher. It was kind of fun in its day. This is Larry Maslon on today's Jukebox Jamboree. We're looking at some very, very essential and formative jukebox musicals on the Broadway stage. And in 1985, a show came along called Leader of the Pack. And this is particularly interesting to me because if you see A Beautiful Noise, you'll see a character named Ellie Greenwich, who this show, Leader of the Pack, is based on her life and her discovering all these doo-wop groups and girl groups in the Brill Building in the 60s. And it was part biography, part history of pop music, an older self and a younger self, sound familiar, and these fabulous songs that she either wrote or arranged. And again, here's an original song from her stable by the Crystals, a song that, I don't know, if you don't get up and dance to this, I simply cannot help you.
There she is. Let's ask her. Hey, Betty, is that Jimmy's ring you're wearing?
Uh-huh. Gee, it must be fun riding with him. Is he picking you up after school today? By the way, where'd you meet him?
I met him at the candy store. He turned around and smiled at me. You get the picture?
Yes, we see.
That's when I fell for
the leader of the pack.
My folks were always putting him down.
Down, down.
They said he came from the wrong side of town.
Wrong side of town.
They told me he was bad, and tears are beginning to show. And as he drove away on that rainy night, I begged him to go slow. Whether he heard, I'll never know. No, 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 no. Look out, look out, look out, look out! I felt so helpless, what could I do? Remembering all the things we've been through. At school they all stop and stare. I can't hide the tears, but I don't care. I'll never forget him, the leader of the pack. Now he's gone. 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 Now he's
Well, that was obviously Leader of the Pack. That was from the cast album. Very hard to find, I think, on Elektra. Dinah Manoff was in that company. Darlene Love was in that company. And that is the show version of a song that Ellie Greenwich worked on. So Leader of the Pack was not to be forgotten. I think it was one of the formative jukebox musicals. Well, we heard at the top of our show, Lieber and Stoller, Jerry Lieber and Mike Stoller. They were also fantastic writers at the Brill Building, and they wrote for Elvis Presley, and they wrote for the Drifters, and they wrote for Peggy Lee, you name it. And this show, I guess, is more like a review. It had no narrative. It just had this, can I say it, kick-ass company of 8 or 9 members, I forget, just doing this stuff really well, directed by Jerry Zaks. And it ran over 2,000 performances. So here's a song that appeared in it. Here is the original version, or a cover version, I guess. It was originally written in the 50s. But this is Peggy Lee singing Kansas City. And we will come up with another song associated with Peggy Lee from Smokey Joe's Café.
I'm going to Kansas City, here I come. I'm going to Kansas City, here I come. They got some swinger little fellas there, and I'm gonna get me one. I'm gonna pack my clothes, leave at the crack of dawn. I'm gonna pack my clothes, leave at the crack of dawn. And everybody will be sleeping and they won't know I'm gone. Might take a train, might take a plane. If I have to walk, I'm going just the same. I'm going to Kansas City, here I come. They got some swinging little fellas there, and I'm gonna get me one.
Cash out 44 pairs of socks and have them hanging on the line. I can start and iron 2 dozen shirts before you can count from 1 to 9. I can scoop up a great big dipper full of lard from the drippings can. Throw it in the skillet, go out and do my shopping and be back before it melts in the pan. 'Cause I'm a woman, W-O-M-A-N. I'll say it again. Hey.
I can rub and scrub this old house until it's shining like a dime. Feed my baby, grease the car and powder my face at the same time. Get all dressed up, go out and swing till 4 a.m. and then lay down at 5, jump up at 6 and start all over again. I am a woman, W-O-M-A-N. I'll say it again.
If you come to me sickly, you know I'm gonna make you well. If you come to me hexed up, you know I'm gonna break the spell. You know, if you come to me hungry, I'm gonna fill you full of grits. But if it's loving you lacking, I'll kiss you and give you the shivering fits. 'Cause I'm a woman, W-O-M-A-N. I'll say it again. Oh, I'm a woman, W-O-M-A-N.
I can stretch a greenback dollar bill from here to Kingdom Come. I can play the numbers, pay my bills, and still end up with some. I got a $20 gold piece, says there's nothing I can't do. I can make a dress out of a feed bag and make a man out of you. 'Cause I am a woman. I'm a
Well, that was a song that Peggy Lee made hugely famous in the 60s, and is done as a trio in Smokey Joe's Café. So very imaginative in the way that they would take these pop hits and reconstruct them in different ways for theatrical purposes. Well, we are very much now on Broadway in the world of the bio musical. MJ, as I said, Neil Diamond, on Tina Turner, on and on, Cher show. Here's one of the first, and it came out of Australia in 1988. 1998. So it predates the 21st century. It was about an amazing performer named Peter Allen. And it was done in Australia because he was from Australia, the boy from Oz. And here is Peter Allen singing a song he wrote about Julie Wilson, who was a great cabaret performer. And it later became attached to Judy Garland. But a fantastic song sung by the hero of The Boy from Oz, Peter Allen.
Quiet, please. There's a lady on stage. She may not be the latest range, but she's singing and she means it. She deserves a little silence. Quiet, please. There's a woman up there, and she's been honest through her songs long before your consciousness was raised. Now doesn't that deserve a little praise? So put your hands together and help her along. All that's left of the singers, all that's left of the song. Stand for the ovation and give her one last celebration. Quiet please, there's a person up there who's singing of the sins that none of us could bear to hear for ourselves. Give her your respect if nothing else. Put your hands together and help her along. All that's left of the singers, all that's left of the song. Rise to the occasion. Give her one last celebration. Quiet please, there's a lady on stage. Conductor, turn the final page. When it's over, we can all go home. But she lives on the stage alone. So put your hands together, help her along. All that's left of the singers, all that's left of the song. Stand for the ovation and give her one last celebration. Put your hands together and help her along. All that's left of the singers, all that's left of the song. Right for the ovation and give her one last celebration. Put your hands together, help her along. All that's left of the singers, all that's left of the song. Put your hands together, help her along. All that's left of the singers, all that's left of the song. Stand above the ovation, and won't you give her one last celebration? Put your hands together and help her along. Let's just stay here all night and let's sing every song. Won't you rise to the occasion, and won't you give her one last celebration? Put your hands together, help her along. All that's left of the singers, all that's left of the song. Stand for the ovation. Yes, give her one last celebration. Come on and put your hands together. I want you to help her along. Let's just stay here all night and sing every song. Won't you rise? Can you rise to the occasion and give her this one last?
Coming home used to feel so good. I'm a stranger now in my neighborhood. I've seen the world at a faster pace, and I'm coming now from a different place. Though I may look the same way to you, underneath there is somebody new. I am not the boy next door. I don't belong like I did before. Nothing ever seems like it used to be. You can have your dreams, but you can't have me. Oh, I can't come back here anymore, 'cause I am not the boy next door. You've been saving those souvenirs, faded photographs from my foolish years. I made plans, but they're wearing thin, and they won't work out, 'cause I don't fit in. and those memories will just weigh you down. 'Cause I got no place to keep 'em uptown. I am not the boy next door. I don't belong like I did before. Nothing ever seems like it used to be. You can have your dreams, but you can't have me. Oh, I can't go back there anymore. 'Cause I am not the boy next door. For just being me. But if you look past the past, you can see that I am not the boy next door. I don't belong like I did before. Nothing ever seems like it used to be. You can have your dreams, oh, but you can't have me. I can't go back there anymore. 'Cause I am not. You are not. I am not. You are not. I am not.
Well, we all know who that is. That is Hugh Jackman in his Academy Award-winning performance as Peter Allen in The Boy from Oz. Ran a year, I think exactly a year, and he said, I've got to make a movie. Bye. And they were never able to keep it going. Too bad. He was fantastic. And you get a sense of that was the musical that made him a superstar, I think, in the American musical theater. And that really set the tone for these kinds of biomusicals, took songs that were associated with a particular artist and used them to tell his or her story. Quite interesting. Well, the big game changer and the biggest, most successful one of them all, at least up to this point in jukebox musicals, is Mamma Mia. And this is based on the music of ABBA, the Eurovision champions of all time from Sweden, who had so many number one hits in Europe and also in America, but mostly in Europe in the 1970s. And a producer named Judy Kramer said, everybody loves these songs. Maybe we could put them together and write a book about them. So like get the songs we like and then kind of shoehorn a narrative around it. I've never understood it, frankly. The music is great. The story, not so much, in my opinion, and also stolen from another musical called Carmelita. At any rate, here is ABBA itself singing one of their great solid gold hits, the title number for the musical that made their stage career.
Get me now.
So we're going to wrap up with one more song from Mamma Mia, the 11 o'clock number, which is a song that inspired the producer to get the rights to ABBA. So many of Jukebox shows, this really just takes us to kind of 2001 on Broadway. It was a big hit in the West End, and there was no American cast album, but it ran over 5,000 performances in America. If you're interested in more Jukebox musicals, let me know, and we'll do part 2. We'll get up to the present. And here is Louise Pitre, a Canadian actress who played the lead in America, but as I said, there was never an American cast album. Thankfully, she sang this song, written by ABBA, stuck into the musical Mamma Mia, and it's great to have it for posterity.
I don't want to talk about things we've gone through, though it's hurting me. Now it's history. I've played all my cards, and that's what you've done too. Nothing left to say, no more ace to play, and the winner takes it all. The loser standing small beside the victory, that's her destiny. I was in your arms, thinking I belonged there. I figured it made sense, building me a fence, building me a home, thinking I'd be strong there. But I was a fool, playing by the rules. And the gods may throw the dice, their minds as cold as ice, and someone way down here loses someone dear. The winner takes it all, the loser has to fall. It's simple and it's plain, why should I complain? Now tell me, does she kiss like I used to kiss you? Does it feel the same when she calls your name? Somewhere deep inside you must know I miss you. But what can I say? Rules must be obeyed. The judges will decide, the likes of me abide. Spectators of the show, always staying alone. The game is on again, a lover or a friend, a big thing or a small, the winner takes it all. I don't want to talk, 'cause it makes me feel sad. And I understand you've come to shake my hand. I apologize if it makes you feel bad, seeing me so tense, no self-confidence. But you see, the winner takes it all. The winner takes it The winner takes it
Well, where is the time all gone to? This is Larry Maslon here at Broadway to Main Street. Let's catch up next Sunday at 3.